What's up? Happy New Year. It's January 3rd, 2022. Time is approximately 5:32 a.m. That'd be Eastern Standard Time, because I'm, you know, living here, living the dream. My little hometown, humble abode, home away from home or whatever. No, but, anywho, it's like you never know. This stuff goes viral or something like on TikTok or something or whatever. You don't want to give too much detail. Information. Like because once it's out there, it's out there. It's kind of scary. But anywho, I was making this video um, to show like a little bit about myself. My name's Jacob. You know, Last name is to be determined. You just ask me and I'll tell you if you see me or whatever. People that know me, whatever. But I was making this for, you know, in like this will be the past, obviously, down the road, but um, it'd be for, my wife, the mother of my kids, my future baby mama, whatever and I'd be her husband, and whatever, and all that jazz. We'd be happily married, woo, go us, But anywho, so yeah, Jake, like I say, and I'm gonna be 34 in 25 days. January 25th. I'm an Aquarius, born in '88, so Anywho, but yeah, this is oh as you can see, Holy Bible, Thomas Kincaid, Painter of the Light. Um, Over here you got box of tissues. You never know, it might get sad and be like, So normally I keep it like over there with the other pile, so don't get any no bright ideas. It's not like that. If you look, if you can see my hand, I don't know. It's hard to look and like view my hand at the same time. But you see that red spot right there? But that's basically I have dry skin, eczema. So, of course, in the background, if you see lotion or whatever, that's what that's for. But, anywho, these are call my little babies, kind of wishful thinking because I want to have at least a son and a daughter, But anywhere from 1 to 5 kids. But this is a book. It's called Overcoming the Enemy, T.D. Jakes, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Six Pillars from Ephesians. This book is Don't Unplug by Chris Dancy. How technology saved my life and can save yours too. And then the bottom one, drum roll please, is Chicken Soup for the Single Soul. So it does show that obviously I do speed read, it's like speed dating. Speaking of, I'm currently single. So yeah, I want to make it to where it's like one day, because they always say, like, on Facebook and stuff and social media, you always see, like, things that say, behind every successful man is a successful woman or whatever. And it's like one of these days, like, instead of just seeing me, it's like they're camera shy right now and, like, play it off, like, because I'm sure that's what, like, my wife is, like, saying right now if she's, like, single too, trying to find me or whatever. Or if she is dating someone, but she, eventually will get out of that relationship and come to the right guy, the person for her or whatever, and all that and figure it out. But it's like you just point like the thing and be like, they're over here, say hi, babe, high five, or up top, whatever, stuff like that. And be like, because think about it, you couldn't do anything. It'd be like, I couldn't do none of this, or none of this would be possible if it wasn't for her, like she's the whole world, she's my rock and everything, and I'd be nothing without her. I'd be like the cookie and I'd crumble, you know what I mean? But yeah, so if you can, I don't know if you can see, yeah, a little cross, like I say, Roman Catholic, so Christian, so if that bothers, then I don't know, it should, like I say, it's pretty much so she'll already, know all that stuff, so obviously it's not a big issue or a deal, breaker or anything like that. She's not scared or worried about that. I do work and have a good job. I kind of work right now currently like a second/third shift. It's like a swing shift, not true second, not true third. Basically first shift's usually 8 to 4, 9 to 5. So it's like when that's in my normal time of going to bed is when everybody's going into work. Like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And then when everybody's leaving work, from first shift, that's usually when I'm waking up to go into work. So kind of gives you an idea scheduling wise. So not sure how long I'll like be on like my shift, like or how long it'll take to switch or get off it, but it'll be a while. So I mean, you kind of have to be okay with that, or you know what I mean, and understanding or whatever. But at any rate, I like hunting, fishing, writing poetry, singing, um, acting, stuff like that. Like I can do improv or recite like movie lines, stuff like that. Um, Favorite color is blue. Big, sports fan. Michigan's my favorite team. Go blue. Or the Green Bay Packers for like the NFL. Um, but anywho, it's just one of those deals where it's like I've always kind of been in some regards, you think of like the movie Shallow Hal, you know what I mean, and whatever, where it's like looks aren't always everything. And like my buddy, from work was telling me, because he's married and he's like, that's what dating's all about. You might date people, 10 years or 5 or whatever younger than you, and if that's like your certain age group you're looking for, and then come to find out you don't want to date them because maybe they're like not mature enough for you or something, too immature, too childish, or like still on the whole part going out partying and clubbing and bar hopping and all that and stuff like that. So if you want a more like serious person that's like ready to settle down, like have kids and all that jazz, that might not be the best fit for you, because it's not ultimately what I'm looking for. And he's like, that because I have a real analytical mind. I don't know if you could tell. It's kind of hard to see that from whatever, but you just have to take my word for it. But give me the benefit of the doubt. But anywho, yeah. So as far as the whole analytical mind thing is concerned, is that's kind of how I think about stuff. Like he said, there's no real blueprint, like to dating, you know what I mean? Or it's not a math equation, he's like, Jake, it's not a math equation, like you can't try to sit there and try to solve for pi or whatever the next number in pi is, or the rubric or the square root of whatever, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't work like that, like you just gotta learn, from over years, over time, and just experience and just put yourself out there. It's like the whole dating apps and like, all that kind of stuff and whatever. And, you just start with the basics and like, first step is to just exposure and get familiar with it and comfortable and what they call it, PDA, public displays of affection, and like all that kind of stuff that goes with it, what it entails, you know what I mean, the ins and outs. As you can tell from what I've been saying, I'm not as I guess experienced as far as that goes, as most people, average people, my age or whatever, my age group or whatever. But that just is because it's by choice. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to just have one night stands and flings and stuff. Like that's not what I'm after, what I'm seeking, and whatever. So, but yeah. So I mean, if I don't know, I mean, it's kind of one of them deals where I'm at the point in my life and in my like career or whatever, to kind of go forward, and I'm not as like scared or afraid or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I'm I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like they say, it's like having kids or get married, you're never really like really ready, but you're like as ready as you can or ready as you'll ever be or whatever. Um, because it sucks, like not having someone there for Valentine's Day or New Year's Day or Christmas or Thanksgiving or any kind of big major holiday or your birthday even, you know what I mean? So, I don't want to sit here and keep like beating a dead horse or the revolving door, or address the elephant in the room, but it's like spoiler, like shocker, it's like I'm trying to do the right thing and like they say like save yourself for marriage and like be pure and abstain from that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Those kind of activities that'll get you in trouble, and kind of um be wise about it, because I'm not like a person that like those people that leave people at the altar like commitment phobe or whatever. Yeah, of course everybody has a fear of like rejection or whatever and no one wants to be turned down or whatever, but it's not really about all that. It's just about me trying to establish a connection, build a relationship on a foundation on solid ground, and just kind of take things as they come, as it happens, roll with the punches, as they say. And um, you know, I've got a lot that I can show them and teach them, like our kids, and like about being a good parent and like a good like role model and person to um that they can look up to, like a like hero of theirs or whatever, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people that um know me that would, say, like, I've got a good head on my shoulders and like, that I'm a good guy, like, but a lot of people, they don't give me as much credit or the time of day. They just kind of judge a book by its cover and then just kind of open up the chapter, the first page, and then they might, see me when I'm like, you know, frustrated or just sleepy and just overly tired or exhausted or whatever. And, he's just like a bad timing, you know what I mean? And so they think that I'm like that all the time. And so they'll think, oh, I don't want to be by him. He's, kind of not I'm not into that. Like I don't want that kind of person. I'm not comfortable with because they think I'm like volatile or I'm like, like that Angry Bird show or something where like they're, like, you know what I mean? Like something like that. Like they just, it shows me in a bad way, like a bad light. And, my reputation precedes me. Like, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I'm like an indoor cat, if you will, but I can go outdoors. I can, hang out with the best of them. You know what I mean? Like they say, let the big dogs, or get on the porch or whatever. You know what I mean? I can mix it up and whatever with the best of them and, all that jazz. So I'm not necessarily afraid or scared of all that. I mean, sure, it's, you know, like taking the plunge or the dive, it's like it's eternity, it's forever. Like you really should be 100% like serious, like as cancer or heart attack. And speaking of, I had it when I was a kid. I had cancer and like I'm a cancer survivor of like 28 years. So, it's like imagine that if I can survive cancer, like what else can I, if I get put through a near life and death, situation experience and pulled through and survived Eye of the Tiger style, like maybe there's more to me than meets the eye, you know what I mean? Like, and then that's what I'm trying to convey or portray is that, you know, I'm not, it's kind of like the Beauty and the Beast thing or like the ogre with Shrek and the donkey, you know what I mean? Where everybody sees me as this like, oh, they're a monster or whatever. Ah, run, hide the children, you know what I mean? Or all this stuff. And it's when you get to know the person, they're actually like a teddy bear and a sweetheart and like got a heart of gold, you know what I mean? Like I'm not a gold digger. I mean, I'm not trying to necessarily get like a sugar mama or whatever. I mean, cool. It'd be cool to have, like sugar babies and then like have someone that's a like-minded individual where we can work together and like work off each other and kind of help each other out in that way. Where if one's, having a rough go or time or whatever and all that, the other one can kind of pick up the slack, you know what I mean? And that sort of thing, temporarily or whatever. But, that's any, kind of thing you do. There's going to be risks. There's going to be good times, bad times, and I'm here to like let the record show, like just to be clear, FYI and dot dot dot, like, that I'm in it to win it. Like I'm not here to sit here and waste nobody's time or play games or, all that baby mama drama and stuff. Like it's not what I'm about, I'm just about, trying to, you know, be uh just be with somebody, and not be like by myself and alone all the time and like going places by myself when I could have like a cool hot girl like on my side, and be able to brag on them and stuff and be like, hey, that's my girl and whatever. Like I know y'all are jealous or whatever, but she's you know what I mean? Like she's taken. Like sorry, you'll have to get a number or something here or whatever or some crap, like the reserve line, the waiting list or whatever is like a mile long or whatever. Like even I had to wait literally. Like I've been waiting well over 20, probably 25 some years, like that's a long time to wait a fifth or a quarter century or even a decade and a half. Like, it's like she's not just gonna fall from the sky, and like in my lap and be like, here I am, or whatever, knocking on my door or something, whatever, I have to go out and like explore and, kind of have cool adventures and just, you know, see where our paths will eventually cross and meet. I've got no clue. I mean, maybe they could meet up with each other anytime. It could be tomorrow. I mean, it could be, a year from now. I mean, I hope it's not like 5 or 10 years from now. I mean, I'd be like 40 to 45 some years old. Like, I don't, at that point, I want to already have been married and like already have had a few, kids by then or be done with having kids by then, you know what I mean? And just kind of work towards, getting them through, like school and, preschool and elementary and all that kind of stuff, you know, or preschool or, whatever, so, but anyway, excuse me, just thought I'd share. So, all right, well, I guess as far as everything else goes, I mean, it's gonna work out. It's just gonna fall the way it's gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen. The card's gonna fall where they lie or whatever, like it's out of my hands, it's out of my control. I can't sit there and try to force anything or, like take matters into my own like hands and all that. Like it's like it says in the good book, let your will be done, not mine, like at this point, I just gotta trust and obey the Lord, and like, just wait, like wait upon the Lord and do my due diligence and like in the meantime, just focus on what I can control, what I can do, like make the provisions, like get stuff prepared, get ready, like get stuff set up, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of where it's at for me at this point, so Yeah, I always tell people like I'm a hopeless romantic. I always tell them I'm a romantic that's hopeless, and just flip it around like opposites attract, you know. But it's not really the best way to go about looking at things, you know, in life or whatever situations when you handle adversity. You know, you when life gives you lemons, man, don't make haterade. You know, like you just gotta take things for like a grain of salt, and you know, for what it's worth. You know, I mean, not you're not every day gonna be able to, you know, kiss your wife, you know, goodbye or whatever, or say I love you before you leave, or necessarily pray before every meal that you eat, you know, for the rest of your life. So you just gotta just try to do a bunch of this, the basic, like the small stuff, right, you know, daily. You know what I mean? And that's kind of my approach and philosophy toward life is just, you know, keep it simple and basic. Less is more, more or less. Um, yeah. So, anyways, this is a long, long video, like 21 minutes. So, and I've only got like 22 minutes and 21 seconds in it. So it's like, should I just do it till it auto stops, or just call it at like 22 and be like, deuces, you know, like peace, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah. Um, any last words, any final thoughts, words of wisdom, words of affirmation, like touch and stuff, you know, like a lot of girls, you know, you know, they're all about the listening, the auditory. Guys are more visual learners, you know, visually stimulated or whatever, for like their mind or brain or whatever. So that's just how men and women, you know, that's how it's different for each, you know, person for their brain. It's a different thing, you know what I mean? But I'm a little bit of both, and like I always say, are you from the ATL? You know, because you hashtag LTL. You know, you love to laugh or whatever, and I like LTL too. You know, I love to learn, or maybe the girl she loves to listen. And it's like, you know, I'm always talking, chatty Cathy. So like the TikTok app, she could be like the tick to my talk. You know what I mean? So anyway, all right. Well, guess I'll see you when I see you. Okay, love you. Bye.